We're all set.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I think people are continuing to come on. So, welcome, everyone from Magical Christmas Markets group and family. For those of you who don't know me, and our group does grow quite a bit, so you may not. My name is Sally, and I am the administrator and the moderator and the creator of Magical Christmas Markets Group. And my company, Vacations by Design, is behind the group, which allows us to have these partnerships with these great, with travel vendors like Globus and Avalon, who are our guests today. And thank you so much. But before we start, I just wanted to say what a joy it is to run such a lovely group of kind, helpful people. I've learned so much. You all know way more than I do, but it's great to get in there and get all of our planning together. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can always private message me, feel free, or you can go up to the top of the group in the featured section, and that's where all of these events will be. You could get the replays, but you'll also find my information in my email. So you please feel free to reach out if you want to discuss the amenity programs and the savings that we have for our group members. But today we have a really special guest. I'm so excited. This is my friend Brian, and he is with Globus family of brands as well as Avalon Waterways, which is a very popular way to do the Christmas markets. We will touch on the whole breadth of the company, but we'll of course focus on Christmas markets because that's what we do. So if you have any questions, we'll get to those. And you can drop them in the question box. And oh, I also wanted to mention that if you need the captions on, if you go to the bottom of the screen, you should be able to turn those on and off for yourself. So without further ado, I'm just going to turn this over to Brian. Thank you so much for joining us and for putting together this presentation for us.
Great. No, thank you very much. But hello, everyone. First, thank you so much for joining us this evening. But to formally introduce myself, I'm Brian Ehlers, and I work for the Globus family of brands, which includes Avalon Waterways. I'm relatively new to the Globus family, only a few months old, but I'm not new to travel industry. Just over 18 years I've been in travel. But just so we're all on the same page, if we do spark your interest this evening, or if it's already sparked, you would book and work through Sally. Sally has just been gracious enough to include me virtually tonight to run through Avalon Waterways and what really differentiates us from the other river cruises. And I'll also show you a sample itinerary that includes the Christmas markets. So as I just mentioned, this evening I'm zeroing in on Avalon Waterways, which is my new personal favorite way to travel. But we do also offer other brands such as Globus and Cosmos. These are guided tours that we offer in 6 out of the 7 continents. A great way to travel as well, especially if you've never been to a destination before. And I would be more than happy to go more into depth on these brands on another evening if you'd have me back, Sally.
Of course.
But without further ado, Avalon Waterways. I personally just returned from my first Avalon experience and just wow. I was aboard the Avalon Passion on the Danube River, sailing from Germany to Budapest, and did 2 pre-nights in Prague. It was seriously amazing. I saw 5 countries over the span of 10 days, and I only unpacked 1 time. I can't beat it. I've been on other river cruises and on other brands, but Avalon seriously by far exceeded my expectations. As you can see here, we have 77 different cruises on 12 rivers in 24 different countries. And Avalon Waterways does offer more exotic river cruises as well in Asia and Africa. But for tonight's focus, I'll be spotlighting Europe, where most of our ships sail, and of course, where you're going to find the Christmas markets. And in Europe, we call these ships sweet ships, and like SUITE, sweet ships. And you'll understand why in just a bit. But here's a list of the ships that we own, introducing a new one just about every year. And the rivers we sail on in Europe. I know it's small writing. Sally can send you more details after this presentation. I don't want to bore you with too much reading, but you can easily see how much of Europe can be sailed through and visited through with Avalon.
Really nice.
And I'll get to what really differentiates Avalon from other river cruises, but here's a quick look at some of the spaces on our suite ships. A much more modern look than most other river cruise ships, which in my opinion is very comforting. Each room, each lounge, each deck, each one you'll find a time of day to visit, whether you're watching a sunset, enjoying a cocktail or a specialty coffee, or just chatting with a new friend that you made on board. And our menu of dining venues is as diverse as the cruising cuisines that we serve, whether guests are in the mood for the elegance of the glass-walled panorama dining room, the coziness of the panorama bistro, the breeziness of the sky grill, or the simple allure of room service in their panorama suite. We have the perfect table for you. And I'll go more into depth about the river cruises themselves, but I want to talk first about perhaps the biggest differentiator that Avalon has to offer, and that's the cabins, or more specifically put, the panorama suites. So for starters, all river cruise ships are limited as to the width to fit through the navigational locks throughout Europe. So if a balcony were placed on the outside of the stateroom, they'd lose a minimum of 30 square feet of space inside, which, to be completely honest, is a lot of space to lose, especially in a river quick cabin. Our suites and staterooms were specifically designed to maximize the guest space and the views during their cruise, though. Even with so much competition in the marketplace, Avalon offers some features that truly unparalleled and make it really stand out. We truly reinvented river cruise ships. So no other fleet offers you a view of the world like Avalon suite ships, featuring our award-winning panorama suites, which I already mentioned, 30% larger than the industry standard. They create river cruising's only open-air balcony with absolutely nothing between you and the view. We mastered the art of blending luxury with comfort and now really blurring the line between the outside and the inside.
It's really innovative. And too, if you're doing a Christmas market sailing and you're sailing in the winter, you keep that closed. You can still see where you can lay in bed and see where you're going. It's really an innovative design. I think it's beautiful.
It really is. I'm just waiting for other brands to copy us, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I do want to share a really cool video with you to show exactly what we did to these panorama suites. It's only 2 or 3 minutes long. I think it's genius. But I'll give you the Cliff's Notes first. So I touched upon a few of these bullet points, but first we move the bed 90 degrees so the bed is facing the actual view. Who wants to wake up facing a wall? Then we knocked out the balcony to give you a suite that's 30% larger than our competition. Now your entire room, it's a balcony. Also, no more wall on either side of the sliding glass door. We made the entire wall glass, so your view is as large as it can possibly get. We even angled the bathroom in a way that makes that even larger as well. But let me start the video so you can see firsthand. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Great.
The suite ships of Avalon, designed from the ground up with an attention to detail river cruising has never seen before. There's nothing quite like river cruising no matter who you cruise with, but there are some pretty big differences between companies, starting with how they look at staterooms. And our one-of-a-kind panorama suite is proof of our innovation, our imagination, and our desire to create smart use of space. To give you some perspective of how much better our staterooms are, we're comparing them to the average river cruise cabin. Here's the average window, roughly 7 feet wide, with an opening under 4 feet. Here's our window, nearly 11 feet wide, floor to ceiling, wall to wall. And when it opens, it really opens, wide enough to let the outside in, because the opening is a full 7 feet, almost twice the size of the others. It's the largest standard window in river cruising. Now, let's take a look at the bed of the average cabin. It faces the wall, not much to look at there. We had a much better idea. What if we angled the wall and turned the bed? That little change gives you the perfect perspective of the amazing views out your window. We then turned our attention to the balcony. Here's the average river cruise balcony. Seems like a nice idea, but as far as we can tell, there's not a lot of room for people to enjoy the views out there. And they had to take space from your stateroom to create that small deck space outside. So here's our better idea. Reclaim that space, push the window out, add a spacious dining and seating area for up to 6 adults, combine it with the largest sliding glass door in the business, and voila, you have an open-air balcony, the only one of its kind in river cruising, and you can enjoy it day and night, no matter the weather. Plus, you'll enjoy a lot more livable space, a full 200 square feet. We gave our room an attention to detail unmatched in the industry. We offer comfort collection beds, plenty of easily accessible storage, and we even added sound dampening insulation in our walls to make it less likely you'll hear your neighbors or they'll hear you. And we didn't stop with the room. We turned that same attention to detail to the bathroom. We took a look at the bathroom of the average ship and we knew we could do better. By angling the wall, we opened up more space in the bathroom. Then we took our newfound space and we made it luxurious. We have a large tile shower with glass doors, marble countertops, premium fixtures, L'Occitane bath amenities, and shelves to store all your necessities. And the best part is that there aren't just a couple of these staterooms on our ships, reserved for those who want to pay more. 80% of the staterooms on our suite ships are panorama suites. And once you leave your suite, you're likely to find fewer people on our suite ships. Because with our bigger staterooms, there is less capacity for passengers, which means more space everywhere you go. As you can see, more has gone into the amazing panorama suites, so you can get so much more out of them. We invite you to compare, and you'll see there's no comparison.
All right, I love that video. It's really just nice to see it firsthand, like I said. But here's a list of some additional features that each one of our suite ships has to offer. I'll let you read through them, but one I do want to bring to your attention is the complimentary Wi-Fi. Now, that may not sound all that luxurious, but I was shocked at how good the Wi-Fi actually is. Each ship has 2 Starlinks to make it that much better. Again, Wi-Fi may not sound like a deal breaker, but nowadays it's become a very important selling point. Whether you're breaking the rules and checking in on work emails on your vacation, or even better example, you're staying in touch with your kids or grandkids, bragging to them via FaceTime on how amazing your panorama suite is. And just a few more differentiators on Avalon Waterways. We offer unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks, all included with your meal service, giving guests the opportunity to sample some amazing local spirits right in the country where the grapes were grown. And this is for all lunches and dinners. And sprinkling a mimosa for breakfast. I mean, come on, you're on vacation, right? And then there's the daily complimentary happy hour. Every day this is offered, and it's a full bar for 1 hour included before dinner every evening with a special cocktail the bartender chooses each evening, which I have to say is always a fan favorite. And then right before dinner, the cruise director will come and she'll basically say, you know, how was your day? This is what went on. And then she'll go on and on about tomorrow and your different opportunities and what tours you can do. I had one of the best cruise directors rather, just about a month ago. She was fantastic. She becomes one of your best friends, and I'm still talking to this day. And here's a couple of different ways to cruise. So Avalon Choice offers Avalon guests with a variety of active, discovery, and classic excursions, and onboard activities each day to go your own way. So whether you're looking to walk in the footsteps of legends, bike down the streets like a local, or hike through postcard-like settings, Avalon's selection of included daily outings and their optional excursions really give you the chance to personalize your vacation. The cruise that I personally experienced was an Avalon Discovery, and it was really nice to get up each morning and have the opportunity to go for a hike or join the bike tour, just to get a little exercise in before the day, really started. Avalon Active and Discovery is an exciting type of cruise that introduces you to the people and the places of Europe in the most engaged and fun ways imaginable. It's the old world in a whole new way. And these are truly unique to Avalon. This has brought passengers 5 years younger than the average Avalon cruiser to Avalon. Aboard each one of our active and discovery sailings in Europe, our adventure hosts are available. They'll spend time helping you explore discoveries on and off the ship. And guests can also check out one of the 16 bikes on board. All of our ships for a scenic ride throughout town. You can also grab a Nordic walking stick and hike the hillside for a vineyard or a castle. Or just enjoy the complimentary fitness or strength and conditioning classes, including yoga, and those are located on the sky deck or in the panorama lounge, depending on the morning. And I know I already mentioned the Starlink Wi-Fi, which I found incredible. And just like Globus and Cosmos, Avalon also has the Avalon Go mobile app. So you'll love having information on local eateries, shopping, sightseeing, and much more right in the palm of your hand. Avalon Go also gives you directions, so you'll never lose your way while losing yourself in a new place. And it'll tell you how to get back to the ship, which is obviously very important.
Especially if you take the wine tour.
Yeah, exactly. And then just want to just pack your passions. These are just different ones, and we're going to really zero in on the Christmas markets, but these are other ones that have become very popular
Yeah.
along our Avalon Waterways ships.
Yeah. The beer cruises are blowing up. Just
For good reason.
yeah, I'm getting a lot of requests for that and a lot of groups. And it's funny, a lot of girl groups, you would think it wouldn't be as popular, but it really is. So I think that's the next big thing.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, so now let's get into something a little more specific and perhaps a little more of what some of you were really waiting for, the Christmas time cruises aboard Avalon. Now, keep in mind, this is just one of many Christmas market river cruises we offer. It would take me all night to hit them all, but Sally can get more into specifics and options after tonight, depending on the countries and the cities that you want to see. So this sample itinerary is what we call a festive time on the romantic Rhine, one of Europe's most legendary rivers. It'll take you across Germany and touches in Holland, France, and Switzerland. I've said before, but this is what I love most about river cruising, traveling. Four fantastic and memorable countries, and you only unpack the one time. Of course, due to the time difference and duration of the flight, you board your evening flight and lands in the ever popular modern city of Amsterdam, Holland. Your vacation technically begins the next day, unless you just love flights, then it starts when you take off. Get some rest, though. You're going to hit the ground running, hopefully. Day 2 in Amsterdam, also known as Embarkation Day, and then day 3 into Cologne, Germany. Here you'll explore the iconic waterways of Amsterdam on a guided canal cruise past stately homes of Amsterdam's golden age. I love these pictures.
So
Here's
pretty.
just a few of them, though, that may get you in the mood for Christmas time. You
Yeah.
seriously can't beat these views, and what better way to kick off the holiday season?
So pretty.
And I love these markets as well, so unique to the destinations.
Really nice.
There you go. Warm yourself up with some wine or local beer. I
Yeah.
sprinkled in a few of these pictures along the way.
So we talk
And
about the white and the red. I prefer the red, but some people like the white better. The red is a little sweet too, though, but it's delicious.
yeah. And then when in Rome, spend some free time over a glass of Kolsch Pale Ale, locally brewed for over 100 years. I just found that little tidbit out while I was putting this deck together.
Yeah, we did
And
that.
yeah, and so the fun also doesn't stop when you get back on board, though. So how about a cookie baking demonstration on the ship, where we're getting a lot of these now, and people are really loving them. Nothing says Christmas like a Christmas cookie.
Yeah, that's a Linzer tort. A Linzer tort.
Yeah, that's right. And next up, eat, drink, and be merry in wine country. So en route to Rudensheim, and I apologize if I'm butchering these city names, but
I think you're doing all
I'm a
right.
New Yorker. But en route to Rudensheim, you'll sail through the Rhine Gorge, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and take in the breathtaking views of ancient castles perched on cliffs 400 feet above the water and past the legendary rock of the Lorelei. And you'll enjoy live entertainment on board your ship on the 4th evening. That's what I love about these active and discoveries, and also just, these sweet ships. They stop at every port, and when you're doing it overnight too, a local band will just jump on. I mean, they're invited on. Don't get me wrong, they're not pirates, but they get on the ship and they'll they'll put on a couple of hour show for you. So it's really fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. I get a lot of questions about how late you'll stay in the markets. On the Rhine, you sail a little bit earlier than you do on the Danube, but you still, I'm quite sure that the cruise lines are responding to staying later into the markets and not sailing as early any longer.
They do, and as you mentioned, I mean, it's going to be specific to the river cruise, but we have all our information on our site, so I can definitely get that to you.
Yeah.
And then located on the Rhine River Gorge, Rudesheim is just one of the picturesque German winemaking towns that you'll encounter. And I know it may sound like a bit of a pub crawl right now, but I have to mention the Rudesheim coffee, which is a combination of flaming brandy, sugar, and coffee with a huge dollop of whipped cream, a special treat only found there. And what makes the coffee so flavorful and such a fun part of your visit to Rudesheim is watching the coffee making process. And that's what I also love about these visits.
Maybe they still have it.
What's that? Is that a question or not? Oh, okay. It's what I love about these visits. It's not just the taste, it's the experience altogether.
And it is delicious. And you can buy these beautiful cups with the Osbach liqueur and bring it home as gifts.
So you can sit in front of your own Christmas tree and drink it.
That's right.
And bring in the memories.
Absolutely.
And then you also visit the ruins of Heidelberg Castle. You don't get much more picturesque than this.
So pretty.
It is. Just a few more pictures of these beautiful towns. And of course, they're all going to differ. Like I said, each destination, each city, they do it their own way, and they're all gorgeous. La Petite France is the city's lively tourist hub, known for offering panoramic views, as you can obviously see here. Then off to Germany, as usual, both active and discovery tour options, depending on your speed, your interests, and all your wants. You may choose to join a guided optional excursion to the charming village of Colmar in the morning with half-timbered medieval and early Renaissance buildings. So again, beautiful. You hope for snow so you can get these pictures, but at the same time, your flight is leaving. You may not hope for snow. So,
all right. And Colmar is a big, really popular visit for the markets too.
Yeah, it is. It is. And here's a look at that tour that I was just talking about, Colmar. It's such a picture-perfect town located in this region of France. It's a small town. It's colorful, half-timbered houses. Really fantastic, beautiful, beautiful cities and towns.
Beautiful.
All right. And that, again, is just a sampling of an itinerary on board Avalon Waterways. Not to be a broken record, but Sally can go through many other options and countries you can see. I'll hand it back over to Sally, unless, of course, there are any questions for me. But I know that Sally can probably answer these questions just as well as I can.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you see the questions that people are putting in? I'll see
I
if
don't. You know why? Hold on a sec.
Let me see if I can.
Share.
Thank you.
Or you could just unmute yourself and you can ask me. But yeah, so first of all, thank you so much, Brian. That was a beautiful presentation. The pictures are beautiful. Did such a good job of outlining exactly that routing. So for the Magical Christmas Markets group, we do have a special $100 off per person until, I want to say September 10th. Is that right, Brian? Think
Yep.
it's September 10th.
Yeah, it's for the next 2+ weeks. So
Okay. Yeah, so please reach out and we're happy to do that. But there's always amenity programs and savings as a member. So if you want to look further at Avalon or any of the Globus brands, please let me know and I'm happy to answer all your questions there.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm just wondering if there's any provision for solo travelers.
Great question.
There are. Do you want me to take it?
Yes,
So,
go ahead. Take it away.
Single supplements, yes, those are available, and it depends on how many per ship. So unfortunately, a lot of these questions, I'm even looking at the chat, and it's going to differ between, if basically the earlier your book, the better chance you have for us to waive that. And then even when it's not available on Sally's side, Sally can bring it to me, and I can attempt to work my magic behind the scenes. And that's what I love about the partnership with Sally. She's fantastic, but the things, whenever I can help out, she's fantastic and really knows what she's doing. But so yes, to answer your question, there are not guaranteed, but like I said, the earlier that you book, the better.
Yeah. Do you sometimes when you get closer to the sailing that maybe some of them become that solo sailing or?
Yeah, as we get closer to, so yes, you're absolutely right. So the earlier, the better.
Yeah.
Or maybe the later, right? So
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but it's one of those gray areas where, but then of course you don't want us to sell out and the ship is full and now you don't get to come at all,
Right.
right? So yeah, so I would recommend booking early, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, I would then have to work internally to see if we can have that exception be made.
Right. So Gail, you can always email me and I can look and see which sailings might, have the best opportunity for that. And then I'll work with Brian directly.
Yeah, thank you. I just am finding that more and more people are interested in solo traveling, and the travel industry doesn't seem to have caught up with that idea just yet.
I agree. Absolutely agree. Especially on the river cruises. I suppose it's because they're so small and they only have, maybe 160 to 190 people, and they never really make any solo cabins that I've seen.
Yeah, the max that we'll have is 144 people on a
Oh,
on
is
a
that
ship. So
right?
yeah, so it's and those are in Europe. They're going to be even smaller when you get to like the Mekong and
Right.
Amazon and all because the rivers are they're much more narrow. So there's just a tiny bit smaller ship. I want to say the max on those is about 128, something like that. But yeah, max 144 people. Someone actually just reached out to me just the other day saying, I want to put together a group of all single females. I'm like, so the whole ship would be about 72 people. Like, I don't know if
Right.
I don't think that would be beneficial for
Right.
pretty much anyone. But yeah, but no, of course, I know what you're saying, Gail, I mean, you're looking for probably just a few cabins to be single supplement, and we can most likely help you there.
Yeah, that's great. Or I get a lot of sometimes the husband doesn't want to do the markets and the wife does. So my answer is always beer. You can.
Very
There's
true.
Kolsch tastings, there's all kinds of tastings. There's
Oh, we had plenty of this, and I do see one of the first question I see in the chat was you gonna that they booked the Danube. I unfortunately I'm not discussing it, but honestly, if you want to Facebook friend me, Brian with an I and my last name Ehlers Ehlers, and you'll see a few posts that I made on the Danube, and I basically did it every 2 or 3 days. So yeah, and of course you can talk to Sally more about the Danube, but also if you want to just see some pictures that I took, I'll yeah, just request my friendship on Facebook.
Oh, that's awesome, Brian. Thank you for
Yeah,
doing
definitely.
that. That's
Definitely.
great.
I have a question.
Yes.
Sure.
Now I lost my train of thought. Give me another glass of wine. Yeah, I was wondering like how it works with the Christmas markets, when you're docked and working it out with the excursions and with getting back for dinner, and how is that timing all work? Is there time to see the Christmas market before coming back for dinner, or what?
So Sally, correct me if I'm wrong. There is, you can see the Christmas market and also keep me honest, Sally, there's time to go back to the ship, have your dinner, and then come back out when it's dark and all the lights are on. So it
Right.
depends, and that's kind of I think it's one of the second questions in the chat. How long does the river cruise dock at each port? Totally depends. And I know I hate to give that vague answer, but depends on the city, depends on timing. But yeah, even when I did the Danube, after dinner, 3 or 4 of the nights, there was an opportunity to get back off the ship and do
Sure.
some things. We hit up some pubs. We did, even if like I said, if you wanted to get a specialty coffee from the destination, there is time to do that. And it's just, be back before we leave. And
Yeah.
that's why that Avalon Go app is so great. You can't get lost even me.
Yeah, we're already booked on the Danube, and I was just wondering, how far away from the towns do we dock? Do we have to take a shuttle in, or can we walk into town?
No. I mean, there are some that if you really want to get into the city area, you're going to, need to take, Uber or something. But a lot of them are right there. And you'll see, and I never took an Uber or a taxi or anything. And like I said, Sally, hope you don't mind me saying this, but Facebook friend me and just you'll see a bunch of pictures of me out with a group of people. And, we're at a bar at night or we're doing something in the evening. And that's just me getting off the ship after dinner because I mean then you can also be back by the time there's some kind of live show of some sort. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
you get
think
good time.
logistically too, the Danube, you dock closer to the towns than on the Rhine, just generally speaking. So there's less busing back and forth between the ship. There's also more overnights on the Danube. So if you're going to be in Vienna, you probably would do an overnight. That way you can come and go as you like, and they will normally provide a shuttle back and forth so that you could stay. I usually do like a tour, for an hour or two into the city and then go off on my own. And then the tour guide will let this is where you would meet and you can come back to the ship. But like Brian said, on the Danube, I think you walk most of the time back and forth. It's that close.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's great.
Yeah, there were a couple of cities we did as soon as we got off the ship. I mean, all you had to do was literally cross the street
Yeah.
and you were like in the heart of the city already. So it was,
Right.
yeah,
Oh,
it was
nice.
great. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
Yeah.
hi, just a question. I think we're on the same cruise as you. So we will be able to see all different kind of Christmas, what's the word? Markets at night.
So I think, Brian, they're asking if the ship will be staying into the evening. And you're on the Danube also?
Yes.
Yeah, then I'm quite sure you are.
Yes, I mean, like you said,
Indiana.
you're so close to those towns that yes. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know the exact itinerary. Like, I put this one just as a sample, but yeah, I mean, if we're selling as a Christmas market, we're not going to take you out of there.
Right. And of course you don't want to miss dinner because it's part of what you're paying for, obviously. But you could. You don't have to go back to the ship for dinner if you don't.
You don't. But like you said, it is included, and it really is. It's delicious. I mean,
I
everything
know it
I
is.
honestly, I hate to be this. I don't want to come across as the salesman. I really don't. I really like to do. I like to speak from my heart, and I'm so happy that last month that I got on the on my first Avalon experience. But the food was delicious. My wife is a travel advisor also, actually. So and she's done more river cruises than I have, and she can compare them. And she has told me that Avalon by far has the best
Mhm. That's
on board.
great.
So like I said, so like Sally said, rather, you don't want to miss dinner, but if you do want to see more of the markets,
Yeah,
stay
then
out.
you
And you
could.
may just want a small dinner. I went through all the different dining options you have. Not just the menu is different. It's the lounge. It's all the different places that you can eat. So yeah, you get a lot of different options.
I think that's one of the great things about river cruising too. My husband loves the ocean and I don't hate it, but I do prefer the river. And I think it's one of the main reasons is that, all the food and the provisions aren't brought on in the beginning because there's no place to store it. So when you're on a river cruise, you're literally watching the chef and the staff get off the boat and get the ingredients and bring them on and cook them for you that night, which is absolutely fantastic and a great way to be immersed into the culture and eat
Yeah.
delicious food.
I have to piggyback what Sally's saying. Honestly, I mean, the food you do get that authentic, of
Yeah.
where that taste of wherever you're docked. And numerous times I actually got off the ship and I got to know the chef actually because I would walk off like right next to him and he was
Right.
going off to get certain spices or whatever it was, which is
Yeah.
great. And also, if you do Facebook friend me, you'll see some pictures of me uh, being the captain of the ship. So.
Oh my.
So speaking about dinner, what is the attire on for dinner? Is it casual or?
So it's relaxed. You can honestly, of course, they don't want flip-flops and tank tops, but you're not really in that sort of destination anyway. But it is more relaxed. And then, of course, like the second to last night is a little dressier. You don't have to though. It's there's no, I was told by, I don't even remember who told me that no pants, that you definitely need to wear long pants if you're a man. It's just not the case. You can, of course, you probably wouldn't be wearing shorts during Christmas time anyway, but
Yeah.
not necessarily. There were, people did show up with shorts and a polo and flip-flops, so that was okay to do. But then you also got, I was a little dressier just because, walking around doing the hike during the day is great, shorts and t-shirt, but I like to get a little dressed up for dinner. So,
Mhm.
but nobody was really, really spotlighted as over or underdressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're coming back to the ship after you've been out all day, you can definitely go to the dining room like that. You don't have to worry about and like Brian said, sometimes you want to dress up. If you're back at the ship and it's one of those days and you feel like dressing, you certainly can. But if you were out all day and you're just getting back and you want to go to the dining room, that it's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just like I said, the second to last night is normally the more. And it's not a gala. You don't need to bring a black tie, obviously,
Yeah, no.
but it is a little bit more dressy. They don't do it the last night because so many people call it, an early night the last night just because they may have a very early flight. But
Right.
so the second to last, I threw a jacket on that night. So yeah, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. I don't think my husband ever brought a jacket. I don't, honestly, I think, he wore slacks and like a button-down shirt for the,
Well, I had just got a new suit, Sally, so I wanted to show it off.
I'm sure you looked fabulous. That's great. So honestly, if you need me for anything, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer all of your questions if they come up. I'm so excited to see all of your pictures. When you go, you have to post them into the group so we can see your experience. But that's great.
And
Thank you.
just before we go, there was one last question I saw from Carolyn. What is the time frame for dinner, please? So normally, I can speak for the Danube at least. Happy hour started at 5:30, so it goes from 5:30 to 6:30, and then from 6:30 to roughly 7 o'clock is when the cruise director would talk about, what went on during the day, what your options are for tomorrow, and when you can meet her if you want to sign up for an optional tour, etc. That only takes, less than a half hour. So then dinner's on at 7, and you can go anytime between 7 and either 9 or 9:30.
Yeah,
You can be seated. So yeah, it's pretty open.
that's nice. And do you have a chef's table?
We don't, at least not a Danube begin.
Oh,
No,
okay. Maybe,
no.
yeah. It might be on some ships and not others or something.
Yeah, some, but some not. Yeah, and I really love that because some nights when you just had you're just in Germany and you tried all the different sausages and you had a giant pretzel and you come back to ship, you're like, I definitely need to eat something before I go to sleep, but I don't want to sit down three, 4 course meal. You can
Right.
go up to the lounge and it's a lot of the same foods, but just kind of like finger foods. I don't want to, I don't like to say like, it's not an hors d'oeuvre, but it's more than that. But it's,
Right.
so you don't have to, spend 2 hours in the dining room. You can just get something, simple yourself up there.
Yeah, it really is a lovely vacation option. It really is.
Yeah.
Does Globus have any Christmas? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to ask a question?
I was just asking about transfers from the airport to the hotel.
Mhm.
And we're going to Prague first and then on to the Danube.
Great.
So we just wondered what kind of transfers can be arranged or are available.
I don't want to step in your toes, Sally, but if you don't mind, I'll take this. So
Oh, no, yeah,
if
I
you,
would rather.
yeah, so if you book air included with Globus, then the transfers are going to be included. But and I believe this is the case, but otherwise you can either book the transfers or take a taxi. I mean, I would recommend you do the transfers through Sally. This way it's done, it's paid for before you go. You don't have to worry about a taxi or an Uber or something like that. So those can either be purchased or, like I said, if it is packaged all together, with Globus, then they'll be included.
Yeah.
So you're saying if they do their air with you, then the transfers are included. If not, there is a fee.
Yes, I
Okay.
believe that's correct.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. Okay.
Okay. Well,
So
what would the fee be? We did not do our air through Globus. So how would we do that? What would the fee be?
It's going to differ destination. It's going to differ destination to destination. So if you just email Sally or ask her, and she'll be able to find that out here on our site.
I
Okay.
don't know that I would. If you didn't book it, I don't know that they'll let me look at the reservation because it's not mine.
Well, I
But
could just do
I'll try.
Uber or something, right?
Yes,
Just,
that you
yeah,
could do,
Yeah, you
Okay.
can do that. Yeah,
yeah.
which is
okay.
really easy.
Uber's everywhere.
Yeah. And like we said, the ports are pretty close, so the airport shouldn't be. Oh no, actually, where are you flying into? Prague?
Prague.
Yes,
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could do an Uber.
yeah.
And just remember, Prague, they do not use the euro. So when you see those rates, it's going to look astronomical, like
Oh.
tens of thousands of dollars. It's not. I don't remember what it was, but it was like, okay, and divide it by like 48 or something like that. So it's just so you know, it's going to be,
Oh,
and they
okay.
even tell you if you're going to Prague, that's exactly what I did 2 nights in Prague, which was awesome. Um, I wouldn't recommend exchanging money. Just use your credit card. Just
Mm,
because if you're just going to be there 2 nights, once you leave Prague, they're not going to take those checks or whatever they call them, their money anywhere
right.
else. So
Oh,
unless you're just going to get a minimal amount, just my opinion, just because I was there last month.
right.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good tip. And when you use your credit card, they'll ask you, do you want to use US dollars or the euro? And you can kind of figure out what's best for you and do it that way. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, of course, your credit card is most likely going to charge you some, few cents for the charge, but honestly, it's better than having, $20 to $25 worth of the money in Prague still left in
That
your
you
pocket.
can't use, right?
Right, right. Okay, thank you.
Do
Someone's
you,
asking if Globus has any Christmas market tours, which they do.
Yep.
I have another question. Do you ever have Canada at par, Canadian dollars at par specials?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Not that I know of. I could find out for you to
Yeah,
let Sally know.
I'm just curious because as you well know, it makes quite a difference in price, the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not that I know of. But I could check
Okay.
up on it.
Yeah, we can find that out for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if there are no more questions, I want to thank everybody for coming. It was such a lovely night. I think we should do it again really soon.
Definitely, yeah, and I can show a different itinerary. I
Yeah.
could do a couple of different ones, or I could also go through Globus and Cosmos. I did my first experience on that back in June. I did the historic cities of Eastern Canada tour, and honestly, I come from the sun and sand, Mexico and Caribbean background for like 18 years, so I never thought like my preconceived notion of what a guided tour on a coach bus. I'm looking at like 90s movies where like everyone's shoulder to shoulder crammed into a bus, and it's 100% not like
Not
that. I
like
love
that.
it. And it's great, just like Avalon, like any river cruise, the friends you make on board, it's like, you start getting like little cliques where you eating together and, kind of walking together through the tours. I love it. I think I was mentioning to you, Sally, the other day, like I'm still keeping in touch with people from both Avalon and also my Globus tour,
Yeah.
swapping old-fashioned recipes or just talking about when the next time you're going to Australia is. So I
Yeah.
love it. You really do, if you want to, if you're a, kind of a social butterfly, you can make lifelong friends. And that's what I really like about it.
There
I,
is one other thing I wanted to ask
Sure.
about packing and clothing. I understand it's very, very cold, but is it in terms of wetness, does everything have to be waterproof? I mean, that time of year, um, I'm just wondering if you have any tips.
No, I mean, I've never been there. Well, that's not true. So I wasn't a river cruise, but I was in Amsterdam. Not Amsterdam. No, I was not there. Amsterdam. I was in Lisbon and Barcelona for the Christmas markets. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, bundle up, but no, it doesn't have to be waterproof. And just on my Avalon cruise, given it was not during the winter, but we got caught in the rain a couple times, and
Mhm.
Brian here was not really ready for it. I brought an umbrella, but I didn't bring it on the tour.
Oh,
I came back.
I think on the Danube though at Christmas time, yeah, it can be rainy. I think layers are definitely the best way to go.
Mhm.
And maybe like a long, like for you, like a long coat that is like a winter coat. Yeah, because it can get rainy. It's funny. I mean, the past couple of years, it's been a little bit warmer than the years before. And by warmer, I know you're from Florida, so
Yeah.
it's like, in the 40s. So that's not very warm, but it's not, it's not terribly, terribly cold. But yeah, it can get rainy. You
And
might.
we also do have laundry service, which I didn't
Oh, okay.
mention, but you can do that. And honestly, it's really pretty inexpensive. Gentleman that I didn't do it myself, but a gentleman that was with me, he did like 4 shirts, 2 pairs of shorts, whatever, and one of his jacket, let's say, and it all came to something like 45 euro. Like it wasn't really that, and it was a good amount of laundry. So,
Right.
it's
Okay.
affordable.
Okay, great.
Yeah. You're going to have such a good time.
Thank you. We can't wait. We're excited.
It's really fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see to hear. Hopefully, you do Facebook friend me so I can see your pictures too.
Yeah. Yes, we'll all share them.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to do it again. Next time I'm going to bring wine.
Okay.
Not hot chocolate.
I'm going to say it's hot chocolate. It was so nice to meet everybody. Thank you so much. And again, please feel free to reach out to Brian or I anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
All right.
All right. Thanks again for having me, everybody. Nice
Thank
meeting you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye
Take
now.
care.
I know.
Bye.
You should get her email address. Did you get her email address?